All right, colleagues, welcome. Welcome to the Career Audit second edition. Second edition. Um, we had the first edition in that was in February, isn't it? Yeah, February, beginning of February. Um, the goal of this is for us to open up. We have challenges or you may have joys. You may want to know more, or you may want to give based on experiences. And I think this is very important um, to help each and every one of us to better navigate our journeys. And the fact is that no one is too old to do this as far as you are still on the career pathway. So I encourage you to make use of this opportunity. You may be advanced in your career. Please find a way to see how you can support those who are coming behind. You may be in the beginning of your career. It is good to open up to take in some strategies, information that will support your growth. You may even be in the middle. You can look backward and see where you're coming from, and then look ahead where you're going. And some of the experiences here can also support you in that process. So let's make it relaxed. There's no question that is out of the way. If we don't know it, we'll go and research about it and come back to bring ideas that will help each other. So I would like us to make use of this moment. There is no fixed agenda for this session, but the workshop we had, the career talks we had last Friday was on foundations. And I would like to we can start from there, but it doesn't mean that is the only thing that is allowed. No, you are invited to bring any question, any problem, any challenges, any joys, whatever it is, you can bring even aside this particular focus. So just to a bit recap, I was saying last week, for those who were around and those who were not around, we circulated the presentation, and it is also on our YouTube channel. So you can go and check it out yourself. So to say that foundations are important in life in general, and when you come to the career itself, it's very, very vital. Many times people do not pay very close attention to it, but it is very vital. Your foundation defines everything that could happen in the future for you. So it is important to take time to build a foundation yourself you'll be happy with. The fact is that you can start the foundation. You can also, at a particular point in time, realize that perhaps you have not established a very strong foundation. You can also rebuild it. Okay, you can make adjustments as you go along the way. can make adjustments as you go along the way. So it is important. And here you can see, I have indicated that your foundation is your beginning. Foundation is where you're starting. It is your baseline. It is your launch pad. It is where you kick off. All right? It's your personal genesis, your building blocks, your background, that which you take off from. That is your foundation. That's your foundation. So it determines the stability and longevity of the structure you put on it. And then for our next career talks, we are looking at the structures. Having set the foundations now, we need to begin to work on the structures. Okay. All right. So I mentioned last time there are two types of foundation generally when you look at the metaphor of building a house. There are two types of foundation: a shallow foundation and a deep foundation. These are the two types of foundations that we have. And so the structure you want to establish, or where you want to go, or the type of building you want to have will determine the type of foundation you take up. And last week, I was asking those who amongst us who would like to reach the highest echelon of the academic career. And that is those who want to get to the level of a professor. And several of us, I think it was up to 35% of people actually raised their hand. And I tried to disappoint them that in reality and across places, it has been shown that it is between 3 and 5% of those who achieve their PhD end up becoming professors. And this is important for anyone who is aspiring to get there with regards to what foundation you actually build. Okay? So if you want to get to the top, if you want to go to the top, where only a few eventually get to, then it is not a shallow foundation you need. You need a solid foundation. All right? But if you want to be average, you just want to be like every other person, and then a shallow foundation is enough. Okay, it's enough. It's enough. So here you can see that Lawrence Peter was saying that competition in academia is so vicious because the stakes are so small. Not just that the stakes are high, but the stakes are so small. Okay, there's something that we need to think carefully about with regards to what type of foundation we set up. So having the end in mind is important. Where your destination is will help you to build the foundation that is relevant to your destination. Okay. 3 main functions of a foundation: supports the structure's load, keeps the building standing and stable, protects it from natural disaster. And these 3 things actually happen in the career pathway. All right? If the foundation is not strong, it's not solid, you carry lots of baggages, you carry lots of loads that can be heavy. All right? And if it's not solid, it may not be able to carry what comes before you. And some of those may be the fantastic awards or milestones you achieve. Some milestones require solid foundation to carry them. All right. Keeps the building stable and standing. Yes, the foundation does that because if it's not solid, the building may fall. There are different things that would challenge the building. There are different impediments, obstacles that will come. If the foundation is not strong, it wouldn't make the building to be stable. Okay. Then natural disasters will come. Many things that are not anticipated or planned may come at any time. All right, the rainy days will come. The competition can be rife. The stormy days will come, but only careers built on a solid foundation can survive. That is the reality. I know that in many places people survive by different methods. I don't want to go there, but yes, different methods. Okay, so I highlighted some of the foundations that you need to think about if you're building a career. One of those is attitude. Very, very important. Very, very important. The attitude you cultivate, the attitude you develop, the attitude you imbibe can determine your altitude. It's as simple as that. So you need to build a foundation of positive attitudes, passion, persistence, patience, gratitude, honesty, humility. Name them. We need to build them. Many of us go through cheating. Many of us go through lying. Many of us make it through different things, compromises. But they have their limits. They are things that people whose mind is small undertake. But actually, if you know you have a place in this world to contribute your quota and see that our affairs in this world is like the puzzle, and you have your own parts to contribute, then you develop attitudes that are positive to allow you to do that. For success, attitude is equally as important as your ability. It is not that I can do it, but attitude. I always say that those who are paid much more in places are those who add value. You can make yourself so valuable that the system cannot just throw you away. But many of us are not there. We want the system to treat us as those who add much value. Foundation of right degree. All right. If you want to go into tenure positions, know that PhD is a foundational degree. Many of us, when we get a PhD, we begin to brand it as if we have arrived. No, a PhD is a foundational degree. That is actually where your journey starts. All right? It's not enough. And in the world we are today, where the world is looking for those who add values through skills, through common sense, through ideas, it is not just by the book. Those who can go think outside the box, work outside the box, and bring valuable contributions to the system. All right. So once you earn a PhD, you have to intentionally embark on capacity building. So if your goal to get to that level, that PhD is what you do. Then I mentioned the wilderness. The wilderness is a survival platform. It is a place where you go to build and develop and learn the stamina, the patience, the persistence that is required, the difficulties, how to overcome those difficulties. Many of us do not spend sufficient time in the wilderness. we come out prematurely. And then when we face the challenges that come by, my goodness, we just fall apart. But you need to spend sufficient time in the wilderness of learning the survival skills, wilderness of getting to have the stamina and resistance that you require to make it in the real world. You require it. So spend sufficient time in that place. Spend sufficient time in that place. Don't come out impromptu. Some people were asking, at least one person was saying that the wilderness is sunny and hard. Yes, that is what it's meant to be. And when you are hardened, you come out and then you'll be able to face many challenges. The wilderness is a place you learn to survive, a place you learn to be tough. You need a sufficient time there before you soar. Foundation of understanding, knowledge, and intelligence. Many of us are so bookish. If it's not written, we don't get into it. No, we can't think outside the box then. All right. You need to understand, you need to have right understanding of the career path. What is there? What is in it? Okay? Its competitive nature. How slow it is. Okay? It is quite slow in terms of remuneration. It's quite slow in terms of promotion in many cases. It's quite slow in terms of achieving several milestones. You need to understand that. You need to understand it's not, the academic career is not a career that, or a profession that pays quite a lot. You have to understand that it is a community service, meaning that you have come to contribute to make the society a better place. It's not a place to be giving names. All right? So you need to understand the peculiarities of your own discipline and the environment you find yourself. Foundation of networking. It is a we affair more than an I. Success and productivity depend very much on networking and collaboration. The foundation of realistic ambition. Don't just wish where you get to the skies, but you don't know that in itself, you need to put it within the reality of where you find yourself, your career, your environment, the challenges that are on the way. Because if the only thing you have is you want to go to the sky and you don't know that there are certain discipline you need to get there. There are the challenges that will come your way. When those things face you, you fall apart. Foundation of loyalty. Yes, your boss is always your boss. Be loyal. Many of us, after achieving the PhD, then you treat your supervisor as if, or you know something, then you treat those who you have gone through to know as if they are not. No, don't do that. Be loyal. One day you get an offer, and what they will ask you is that we want one of your referees to be your PhD supervisor, your master's degree supervisor. And if you have broken the bridge, I tell you, you'll be stuck. So we need to build a foundation of loyalty. Foundation of capacity building. Your relevance depends on your currency. So please learn the skills. And that is one thing ASFI offers here. Ensure that you have ambition for continuous capacity building and personal development. And there are different other foundations. I did not go into details, but mention them here. Discipline, open-mindedness, impact strategy, social media, how to use social media properly, foundation to handle the fame. Yeah, I mentioned it. I gave an example last week of something that happened to me also last week, the day before this workshop. Foundation of process versus result. Some of us want to result, and we are not interested in the process. No, you falter. Foundation of excellence mindset. Foundation of flexibility, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is what I would like you to do now, and I will give you half an hour. I will send you to breakout session. I'll send breakout session of 4 groups, breakout session of 4 groups. So please, if you can take a picture of this, that would be great. Take a picture of this, and I will automatically send you to your breakout session. So I want you to reflect. I want you to have a reflection within yourself, personal reflection, and then within your group. And what I would like you to do is reflect on your career, where you are today, where you were in the past, and where you think you're going. Can you see features of your career path you think are linked to the type of foundation you originally built? So what has happened in your career? What's happening in your career today? What will be happening in the future? Can you see the things that are happening to reflect the foundation you have built? So reflect on this, then share your thoughts in your breakout session and engage in a group reflection. The main point of discussion is to see how your career journey is a reflection of your foundation. How has the foundation you had influenced, affected, or determined your career journey, your current career situation, and the future prospect of your career? Are you happy with this reflection? How solid is your foundation? With this reflection, how do you make assessment of your foundation? Do you want to keep to the same foundation or make amendments? So in your group, appoint somebody who will come to present your thoughts. Okay? So I will open the groups now. It's automatic, so please join the group. You will receive your invite, and then in half an hour, I'll bring you back. We can discuss. Right. See you on the other side. All right. Welcome back. I hope you have had a good reflective discussion. So I will just pass through the groups. Please, let's see group number 1. Who is speaking for group number 1? All right, Dennis, let's go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, Prof and colleagues.
Good afternoon.
I'm speaking on behalf of Group 1. We were 7 in the group, and Zacchaeus was the team lead. And answering the questions that were posed by the professor, we had different and varied answers. Some people believe that the foundation was not strong. For example, one of us said the foundation was not strong because the foundation was not hitherto in research, but he has to veer into research, and he's not very happy with what is happening right now. And generally, most people are happy with what they do, but they're not happy with the environment they found themselves, because funding has been a very terrible issue. We have few starters who are laying their foundation now. And even though they are very happy with the foundation they are establishing and the work they do, but the funding has been really very discouraging. So the funding has been a recurrent issue that even generally, even though researchers are the gatekeepers of the community and society, the gatekeepers also need to be kept. They need to be safe. And most of the time, the society does not recognize most of the researches that come out of the research institution or from researchers. And so it has been very, very discouraging. And in general, in Africa, they have no regard for research in politics by politicians and policymakers. But in whole, they are happy. We are happy with what we do, but we are not happy with the tool which we had to contend with, and the society we had to use to do the research. And that is our own view on this. And if the team lead or any other person has anything to add to what we discussed in the group, we can hear from them. Thank you.
All right, group number 1, thank you for that. Yeah, you know, when I was discussing, I didn't bring the issues of funding. You know, the next thing would be structures that you build on the foundation, and the issues of funding audits will come there. So if the foundation is not good, even the funding, when the funding comes, it will not thrive. Yeah. All right. So we'll come back to that later on. Let's go to group number 2. Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Prof, and good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, in our group, we are made up of a diverse breed of people, lecturers, researchers, and consultants with experience of about 2 to 10 years and above. The general story is that when we started, we all came in with a lot of zeal and determination to succeed, but our environment kind of held us back. We had hostile people around us who don't want us to grow, health challenges that stagnated us, and then cultural demands, like we're mostly women in our group, wanted to go forward, but culture demanded that we get married, raise families first. And we had to navigate between all of this and suspend our careers for that. And then we also had limited knowledge on how to navigate our career path. Some of us walked blindly in ignorance, needing people to hold our hands. And we kept struggling with that confusion until the determination in us to actually, we had goals, wanted to go to the top, wanted to progress in our careers. So that determination pushed us to start looking for help. And by the grace of God, we came into ASFI, and that is the turning point for most of us. We found direction, and that has strengthened our foundation to the extent that some of us who could not publish understood what to do, and we are now publishing, we are now completing our PhDs. And one of us story was very interesting because of this like confused state of events, thinking that maybe I'm not standing on the right foundation. One of us went ahead to get a second PhD, and thank God it has paid off, because coming to CFI, ASFI, our eyes are opened and we can now do many side jobs. Some of us have side jobs, consultancy jobs, lecturing jobs, supervising PhD thesis, being external examiners, being called for reviews and stuff. So we think that even though our foundations were shaky at the very beginning, we are now standing on solid ground, and with the goals that we have set for ourselves, we are all determined to get to the top. And then one last thing, one of us is still not too sure whether she still wants to continue in the career path because of all these challenges, some of all these challenges I've mentioned, and is already deviating to business, which is not bad because she's applying the knowledge she has gathered over the years from her research to get into processing. And with think that she could still do the two, stay in academia and be in the food processing business, because of the what we are getting from here. We now have like somebody holding our line, our hands, and there's a light that is directing us to where we should go and how to go about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Group number 2, a number of things came up. One of them is the issue of women, of having family, and so on and so forth. Before I forget, I just have to say that I know that in some environments, being a parent, at the same time you're pursuing your career can be challenging. I think being a parent itself is a big project, challenging normally, but my conviction is that despite your career, life must move ahead. Life should move ahead. Don't stop your other aspect of life just because of the career. That is the first thing I would like to say. If you are designed to get married, go ahead and do it, and do your romantic expressions, build your family, and at the same time you're building your career. I tell you the truth is that experiences we generate from different aspects of lives complement each other. Okay? Somebody, for instance, who is impatient, very impatient, and perhaps can easily get angry or easily irritated. I was speaking with my kids the other day, and I was telling them, you become a parent, and then you're carrying the baby, you're trying to change to that, and then the baby pees into your face. What you say? No. But you did the same thing. Say, no, I didn't do that. Yeah. So what happens is that parenting has a way to shape you too, a way to make you become more tender as well, have a way to tolerate certain things, have a way to be patient, have a way to see people from different perspectives too. So you may be at the stage of your career. Okay, somebody's not hearing me clear. You may be at the stage of your career where you are climbing a mountain, and then you suddenly become a parent. That can change a lot about you. Yeah. So that is one. Then the second thing is that the environment is important. It's important. Do you hear me now?
It's better, Prof.
Okay. The environment we are is important. Yes, it's important. Sometimes the environment can be so toxic, be very, very toxic. Can be very toxic and can make life quite difficult for us. In that situation, you should consider whether to remain in such an environment. That is one. But ultimately, Example, I have a colleague of mine. My boss came to me, I think that was 2 weeks ago, and said, "Oh, this person I heard is trying to leave." I said, "Oh." And then we discussed for some time, and after then she asked me, "Are you also planning to leave?" I said, "Well, no, I'm not planning to leave." Okay, that's good. I said, "By the way, I have not finished my mission here." So he said, "Yeah, I know, but sometimes things may make people feel." I say, "Yes, things will always," and there is no environment where it is paradise. There is no environment. So the point I'm trying to make is that the environment can be tough, but there is a difference it makes when we begin to see ourselves as change makers. Change makers. I had a PhD student who graduated last year. Then after she finished, she said that before she leaves, she would like to have time with me to talk, and she has some questions going forward and things like that. And I think we spent more than 2 hours, and I was telling her some experiences, even in that environment we were, trying to let her know you can change the environment. So when I told her certain things, she said, "Hey, so you mean you were treated this? You mean this is happened?" But nobody knew. Nobody saw you and knew. I said, "Yes." You see, you can have a different interpretation of certain things that happen, and you can change them. So sometimes the environment has a way of preparing us. I talked about wilderness. The environment has a way of preparing us. Sometimes we may see the reflections of the environment to be just negative because maybe it affects us negatively. But the positivity in you can change the story of what happens in that environment. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to, so I'll have some time to answer some questions. Let's go to group number 3. Yes, Palang Mango, go ahead.
Good day, Prof, and good day, everyone.
Good day.
My name is Palang Mangut. So I'm representing Group 3. And so I must say that our feedback option is not too far from what Group 2 presented, but I'll go ahead to still talk about ours. So we were 5, but two persons were not disposed to speaking. So the discussion was among 3 female and 3 ladies, and it so happened that we're from the same client. So the general assessment is an average taken is that we're all unsatisfied at the level we're in. Some even express, someone like me express ugly or even bad state. And of course, we're not getting to where we planned or even wished for us to have been for some of us. And one opened up to even say in the shell, and that's me. I wasn't even made to understand what it is that I should even really work for, you understand? And so some of the challenges that that affected our foundation, that was part of the foundation, was first, it is actually difficult for female youth. Prof just talked about how if you're determined as a female person, you could still make it. But I think in our environment with tradition and culture, there's so many things that get in the way of the female child when they're supposed to work alongside their the male counterpart. So the time could be a problem, and family challenges, could come up. But what we identified most importantly was the issue of mentorship. We all went into this career with nobody telling us this is how you should go about doing things. Nobody carried our hand. Nobody showed us anything. And in fact, it was even the other way. Some were even having people, they were not happy about them. Not even happy that they had a younger colleague coming up. And thirdly, we have environments that's institutions that we work for that are not helping matters. So my own case, there's issue of staff strength, where you're supposed to have you have maybe students in thousands, and there aren't enough hands to do the work. Like in the whole department, you just have just 1 or 2, 3 persons on ground to do the work, and that has really, really affected progress. And then fourthly, even the same institutions, it's very strange that you're expected to definitely publish, but you now find out that you can't get access to the library doesn't provide the journals, and nobody's telling you how you're supposed to get these good journals, except you just do Google and get all that you need to get, or just use abstract. So I don't know how, that doesn't really say much about good research approaches and methods, does it? So these are some of the few challenges that were enumerated in our group. But we collectively agreed that we are better off now with the knowledge we're getting in this platform with the ASFR. It's been an eye-opener to a lot of us, and we're all determined, and we are so positive to work hard and to see that our future, our foundation changes, and then to have a better future. And yeah, hopefully, and that's just the positive thing about it. We've not given up. We're really determined to make the change that we can. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think you spoke quite passionately about certain things that are very vital. The issue of mentorship you mentioned is crucial. I agree with you absolutely. So, sorry for many of you who are facing those things. It's not easy, because I know what mentorship is. I was reading a thesis a few days ago. I have to say this, please. Just bear with me. I know why I'm saying it, because I think it's going to encourage someone. So this is one of my PhD students who is planning to defend the thesis in June. So he has sent it to me to comment, and I'm reading it, and I've got to the acknowledgement side, and he wrote this. And you see, this thing I'm just trying to read to you, I was not expecting it at all. I was not expecting it. But it just buttresses the issue of mentorship. So he wrote, secondly, I would like to thank my supervisors. Then he starts, Bright One, my main supervisor. In your own way, you have inspired me more than you can imagine. While doing my degree project in medical school, you ignited a light in me when you suggested to me to publish what I was doing. At that time, in the midst of a pandemic, jammed in between clinical internships and daunting exams, and not much beyond anatomical terms and prescription doses circulating in my head, it sounded like a crazy idea. Yet an intriguing one. And throughout these years, by giving me the freedom to explore my own path, inviting me to partake in new exciting projects, and letting me figure things out myself, this light has become ever strong. I aspire to be like you in your entrepreneurial mindset, strategic, innovative thinking, and passion for making science accessible to everyone. You know, this is not an African, this is a Swedish person writing. And that actually touched me a lot because I didn't know this was going on. Because often these Swedish people, they don't speak so much. They are very quiet people. He's on vacation now because he has written his thesis and sent to us professors, and then he wants to just take some time to rest. When he comes back, I plan to speak with him later on. But this he mentioned is very critical when it comes to the issue of mentoring. And the point he's saying here is that you have helped me build a strong foundation. And that is why foundation is very important. Unfortunately, many people don't get it. Many people don't get it. So you may not know some of those acts, some of those fine-tuning, some of those advice, some of those encouragement. Sometimes they are unspoken words. Sometimes somebody is in a distance watching you. You may not know what it does. And I am happy this student reflected in this way because I wasn't thinking about it in that way. My goal was to offer what I have. My goal was to make my student better. My goal was to support them. And that can make a big difference. So what Palang was saying is very important. When can you imagine a child who is trying to walk and does not have anybody around to help that child? The trial and error can sometimes lead to catastrophic mistakes. All right. So it is important to have an environment where there is evidence of mentorship. I mean, beyond even supervision. Sometimes some supervisors old-fashioned. Okay, we have a supervisory course coming up time. So it is important. And for those who have mentioned this now about mentorship, you see, one thing I have learned, and that is why SFI is here. SFI is here. My goal is there are many things I didn't get when I was growing up. Well, I did my first degree in my home country, and that is it. Every other thing I've done it abroad. But even at that, I found that there is a room for me to contribute, to support the next generations, Africans. And that is why I started this. Now, even if your own foundation was not well established, do you know there is an opportunity for you to become a better person just by helping somebody to get the things you didn't get when you know the things you didn't get? I don't know if you understand the point there. And that is one of the secrets of successful development. Helping others become better than you when you were like them. You understand? I tell you, it is tremendous. It lifts you. It lifts you. In fact, that which you didn't get at that time, helping others to get the things you didn't get when you were like them, you begin to see, it begins to feel a vacuum in you, a vacuum that will propel you to success. So that is very crucial. The last thing I want to say, which Group 2 also mentioned, is that you tend to be saying that coming to ASF5 has helped you. For some of you to discover purpose, for some of you to receive encouragement, for some of you to be in a support system where you can see those like you, those who are in your situation, those who have gone through the experiences, and then you can hold each other's hand. That is very good. That is very good. But you see, consistency is one of the keys for success. Consistency. And those who have remained with ASF5, taking part, growing, personally, I can see it. I can see it in them. Some of you may not know how much I know you people. I know many of you because I've come across you in different ways. So I can already see, and consistency is the key. If you remain consistent, I tell you the story you have told today. If you remain consistent, in the next 1.5 to 2 years, your story will begin to change. You begin to see things. You begin to see things. You begin to appreciate more this platform. Okay? So if you are coming intermittently, you go on, you come on, you attend this meeting, you go, it will also affect you. So consistency is important. And I see some of you participate in many events, some participate in less events, some are passive. I would like you to become more active, more active. You begin to tap your hands. Some of the things you tap into that can change your trajectory or contribute to change your trajectory may come from things you don't even plan. They are very passive things that come to you. You are not conscious of them, and then they become part of you. You begin to do them all. So please, some of you who like leadership, I think if you are in the SFI members, they have announced the new leadership. Get into that. There are many things we engage in these activities. Get into that. Be part of it. There are opportunities that open up for you in those aspects. Rome was not built in a day. Some of us started late, but we can catch up. But it requires dedication, commitment, consistency, and then you will get. All right, let's get to group number 4. Is it Adeton Adewoye?
Good afternoon, Prof. Thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Tom Adewoye representing Group 4. We were just 5 in Group 4. So after much discussion, we find out that majority of us, our foundation is not all that good. So, but we discover what made it to be like that with our background. We don't have that encouraging background. Then the parents, majority of our parents are illiterate. Then the family, when we start getting married and rearing families, so it's a lot of problem. Then the environment where we grew up, there's nothing to encourage you to really follow academia. So then, and then in some countries, somebody mentioned her country, that's because of the political situation, conflict made her to change her plans. So another person that has a different foundation couldn't complete her statement before we were locked out. So we mentioned that somebody mentioned that along the line, she saw somebody as a mentor who advised, and now she got her career straight. So that now that she has embarked on her PhD and about to finish, then she knows that her future is promising. Then especially when you look at some profession like nursing, they don't cherish degree. Before if you are a degree holder in nursing, nobody will promote you. So in clinicals, they believe your registered nurse midwife is the most important thing. So they don't value whether you publish, whether you do research or not, and it's still affecting some of the nurses today. So, but two people now said that during this, the programs that ASFI has been doing, open our eyes to see that the career we are supposed to follow, the path to be followed, and gave us a lot of inspiration on to have a good future concerning our career. So the major thing now is to have a mentor or guidance. Somebody even mentioned that he has a guidance from the seniors that really helped. So that is all our discussion. Thank you very much.
All right. It is good to hear some of these things that you are mentioning across the groups. And group number 4, emphasizing the point of the background. Some of us having illiterate parents, some of us not having somebody to really be a light to you and push you. Yes, these things are very, very important. I mean, if you go to the literature and you look for studies that have been done to evaluate the career of children who have come from educated or literate families and children who have, you see that there is usually a difference. Yes, but beyond the family background, there is also an expectation from us, each and every one of us, because at some time we begin to answer our own names, all right, not the names of our. Well, I'm not trying to belittle or overlook that fact. In fact, my two parents who are late now, in the current context in my home country in Nigeria, they only reached primary 6, well, maximum in my home country. Yes. Anyway, they have a different perspective, maybe when you compare to other parents, because there are other parents that also reached the same level with them, or even went much higher than them. But one thing my father used to complain to me when I was young, that he was disadvantaged, he was treated unfairly, he was people took advantage of his right or trampled on his right just because his level of education. He used to tell me that quite a lot. And he told me that because of the things he faced, he determined in himself that I will invest and make sure that my children go to school. to the level, the highest they would like to get to. And he was not saying this because of maybe wealth or other things. He said so that nobody will misuse their right. Because when you're educated, then you know you're right. That was his motivation. And that is really life-changing. Life-changing. That when you're going to school, there's something that is actually making you to go. All right? And your father will tell you, no, you have to go so that you don't be like me, because people will use your right. And if you are the type you don't like people using your right, you know, this is a good motivation. But not every parent have that. So we have different exposures and experiences at tender ages, or when we actually needed somebody to help. Nevertheless, that is our story. We can't throw it in the dustbin. We can't cover our eyes as if they never happened. Okay? And that is why I was saying, if you look back, what has happened in the past, if you look at what is happening now, and you look at what is in the future. Now, this is the present. And none of us has reached a terminal point in terms of career, as far as I know from the group here. So there's still a future. There's still a future for us, each and every one of us. That future can start for some people today. Some can start tomorrow. But what is it that you actually want to get in that future now? Based on the things you have learned have happened, what you're learning now, what is it you want to get, change, or make better in that future? This is very, very important consideration. Because that foundation I'm talking about, you can refine it today. You can refine it today. You can begin to bring those ingredients that will make your future better. One of the things I personally, I determined in my life, wherever I will go, is that I will leave a mark. Wherever I will go, leave a mark. And that is my own determination. I don't know how you feel about it, but I believe that should be a mission of everybody. I leave a mark, and I've worked towards it. I think it was maybe 3 years ago or so, I received an email from somebody I didn't know. I'm working here at this university in Sweden. And I got this email, and this person said, well, you may not know me, but I've heard a lot about you. I am a student doing a master's in the School of Public Health. That is not my school. Here is another another department or so. So sometimes they invite me to teach their students. He said, I know you're teaching my group this semester, but I'm doing my internship this semester. And I went to Finland. That is where I'm writing you from. He was writing me. And he said, the international coordinator of the School of Public Health in Finland at that university picked me up from the airport. And while we are going, she was asking me, "Are you a Nigerian?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Yeah, because of the way you spoke, your accent." She said, "Yeah, I'm a Nigerian." Okay, that's good. And And she said, we have had many Africans in our department, but there was one we had that is unique. That kind was unique. And it's from Nigeria. And then she started actually telling him, I mean, this guy is telling me this. Before we got to my residence, she told me a lot about you. And I said, I would like to meet this Nigerian. So before I'm overwhelmed with activities, I just wanted to let you know I am proud of what I have. And my coming here, your presence actually made that way for me. Because it now makes these people to not see everybody the same. Okay? And I know what he's talking about. And that is because of the determination he made. We all have different experiences. And one of the reasons I made that in that city, actually, he went to, I faced a lot of, because at the time I went there, it was quite early. I went there that there were not many Africans. I faced a lot of racism, to be frank with you. I have to say this. This is going on YouTube, but it's not something. I face a lot of discrimination, but it actually tuned me to a positive side. It tuned me, and I decided in this city, I will live unforgettable. And I tell you, anytime I step my feet in that institution, oh, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Why am I saying this? Is that we can actually turn our background to a positive side. That is the point I'm trying to make. And so I made that decision. I've worked in many institutions, and any institution left. In fact, I worked at an institution, University of Edinburgh. University of Edinburgh, at the time I went there, it was the 20th best university in the world. So it's a big university. I left there for where I am now for my own personal reasons. But I was speaking with one of the professors in the beginning of this week. He said, "Oh, Bright, we miss. When are you visiting us?" I said, "I'm not sure. I don't know. A lot of things, one has now to do." So my point is that there is a currency I carry to make sure I suppress the negativities in my environment. Not by fighting, not by too much talking, but one, attitude. And 2, productivity. 3, innovativeness. If you think, oh, well, my environment, like I don't like doing, you will run from pillar to post. You will run. Because wherever you go, the same thing may face you there. So a time comes when you stand your ground and say, no, now I need to face it. Somebody was asking me, I wouldn't mention the name anyway, was asking me, was it last weekend or during the week? I can't remember. He said that we need a session about fear. About fear. Because many of us, the problem is fear. And fear of failing, fear of this, fear of that, fear of that, fear of that. And then eventually you end up not succeeding. You end up failing because of that. So I say yes. And then I offered some experiences, some advice, and some tips. So a time comes where you are fearless. Humbly fearless. You are humbly fearless. And then those around you, because they see this person is not fearful. they begin to line up behind you. Because in many cases, our environments require fearless person. All right. So our backgrounds are realities, but we have the abilities, we have the endowment, even God Himself has given us. We have the capabilities to turn the table around. And I want you to begin to do that. Maybe we need to. I taught a course in January, February, science leadership, and I sent them on a task. And some people came and said that task was really very good for them. And the task I gave them was that, that is the way I started that course, by asking them, are you a leader? How do you perceive yourself? Are you a leader? Most people say, yeah, I'm a leader, yeah. But it's a reflective thing. Do you see yourself as a leader? Do you have the qualities of a leader? So how do you perceive yourself as a leader? And then the next stage of the task was, now I would like you to go around to where you're working, your family members, to your friends. Ask around a few people. Ask them this question. Do you think I'm a leader? If they answer yes, ask them, why do you think so? If they answer no, ask them, why do you think I'm not? Okay? If they say you are not a leader, or if they say you're a leader, ask them, what are the qualities in me you see that makes you to think about me in that way? And some people came with loads of, my goodness, loads of things people told them about themselves. And that exercise is life-changing. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that, have you taken a survey? What in your environment is a problem for you? Or, well, I will not call it, is a challenge or is a stumbling block for you? What in your environment? Because if you don't know the problem, if you're irritated with the problem, or you're just, if you remember it frightens you, you have not started. So you need to begin to pick out that challenge now, and then we can analyze it. How is it a problem to you? Why is it a stumbling block? How does it affect you? Then we see whether we can find some positive sides to it. And perhaps we'll go to the point of, how do you capitalize on your inner strengths, on the things you have around you to surmount this? All right? You see, the courses you have in ASFR, most of these courses, I didn't attend class for them. Okay? Many of them, it came to me as, but this thing, how do I really know about this? How do I do this thing? And I started thinking that, we don't even have opportunity where these kind of things are taught. Perhaps a course can be developed. I can develop a course on this and begin to teach people. And that is how people develop courses. All right? And then we'll formalize it. And they use it to guide people to become better in that area. Many of the problems we have oftentimes is that we are so immersed in the stresses the environment offers us. And we love that in a way because we keep talking about them. We keep talking, we go so much entangled with those things that our innovative aspect, those endowments we have are not active anymore. We are only talking about, complaining about them, that we have not developed or opened that channel that can change that thing, because it can be changed. And then we end up frustrated in things that we would have improved. I don't know whether all these things make sense to you, but just a few reflection on some of the things you have said. But let's see if anyone has any question, or you have any reflection, you have any advice, you have any experience to share. Let's see if we can accommodate that at this point. Please, any thoughts? All right, Dave, Tone, please.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Sir, what about considering all other things? What about ourselves? Can't even our own attitude affect the foundation of our career, or even the future of our career? So, like, are you ready? Are you determined? Are you lazy? Are you ignorant about future? I, I think oneself can affect one career. That just need a more explanation on that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's something that we mentioned, and I highlighted it last Friday, and part of it, and that is very important. You see, the attitudes we develop or we imbibe can change a lot of things. I have an experience. I went to a university and I was employed there. I wouldn't mention it since it's going online. And in that university, some people go and they have attitude. They try sharing flowers. What I mean by sharing flowers is that they go around carrying people's they are the one who are current in people's issues. They are the ones who instigate people. Oh, have you heard this? And so I was there doing my work, and this kind of things, I don't like them. And so I didn't know that something started. Okay. And it was this person who started this thing. I was not in the email list, but things were going behind the scene, behind me. How I got to know, because we share the same boss. How I got to know was that my boss now replied to one of the emails and exonerated me in that issue that has been going on, that people have almost labeled me in the wrong way. My boss exonerated me. And at that time, I have finished my PhD. I have done some part of my postdoc, and this person just had masters. Okay, so I was there, and then me and my boss, we started working. This thing passed, and then I wasn't happy anyway. I wasn't happy, but I kept my cool and I went on, because that was not the reason why I came there. And then we got a grant to advertise for PhD position. And one day I was there and this person came to me. I said, hello, Brian. You know, I saw this advert of PhD position and I'm trying to apply for it. What do you think? Should I apply? I said, yes, go ahead, apply. Do you think I will get it? I said, I don't know. I can't tell you that. Okay. You have to apply. And of course, the selection will be made, interview will be conducted. And then we did this, and this person was invited to interview. Okay. I tell you, even though we are working in the same group, the person will be involved in that project. But my boss and I, we rejected her application. We didn't select her. Okay. And one of the reasons is, you know, people going around what I said, sharing flower. Attitudes can be a hindrance. You think you're getting people on the surface, but when the real stuff comes, it is not you. Go first. So the attitude should be defined. You need to, I've mentioned that all the negative attitude, you need to push them away. Trust me, when we say that the stakes are small, it requires people who are ready to succeed and who get there. Okay, so yeah, let's work on that. Sorry, Oyedemi Oluyemisi, I saw your hand. You can unmute yourself, please. Sorry if your hand was already heavy. If you have a question, please go ahead. Are you speaking? We don't hear you. Somebody sent me a private message asking how were you able to navigate the racism, jobs, talks behind you at the different places you worked. How did you overcome all of them that you didn't get broke? Yes, I made myself so opaque to them. For instance, when I was a student, I had to do side jobs. And the job I was doing at that time was just to clean the office. Okay. And well, I'm very happy to share these things. In fact, many of our African students, anytime I see them, I grab them and I ask what you're doing and things like that. But I saw those as a stepping stone. So I was doing a side job to keep myself going, and I was just doing this cleaning. And in that city, that was the first job I got. And to get that job, it was tough for me to just get that job. And I got it. And I worked there, I think maybe 3 months or so. And one day, my employer just wrote me and said, please, can you come to the office and bring the key of the place? And I went there. And then he took the key. He said, your job there has ended. And of course, he said he'll give me another place later on. He's not sure when he will give me. And I did his job to survive. I said, what happened? He said, no, he doesn't want to talk about it. It's okay. Was I doing a bad job? He said, no, you were doing a good job. Are you not happy with me? No, I'm happy with you. So just for my own information, for my own peace of mind, can't you just tell me why I lost the job? And he said the owner of the place, the client said he doesn't want a black person to work in their office again. My goodness. So is that the reason? Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. I thought about it as I went home. And that really struck me a lot. But when I got home, it was that decision that actually changed my trajectory. And it's this city I was talking about. That is not the only thing I had. That's not the only thing I had other experiences. But I am the kind of person that I'm not easily pulled down because of those negativities. I can find a way to change them to positive. And that was my decision made. And one thing that I actually made a decision was that no matter whatever I do in this city, I will not live in this city. I love the city, but the way the city treated me, I will not live in the city, but I will make an impression that the city will not forget. That was my decision. So I think one way is to see the positive side of these things. And then two is that when you see these things, don't think that it is always your problem. Don't think it's always your problem. Always see that many people who act in this way have problems. Okay? And they need help, really. They need help. I had an example. Oh, I don't want to get into that, but I had many examples. Okay, and this one was a confrontation I had with a German girl sometime, and this German girl was actually saying certain things about where one of my friends came from. This German girl was, my goodness, and when she said this, I finished her up in the midst of all her Caucasians from France, from Italy, in fact, it was my Nigerian friend who was with me that night. I said, "Bright," he said, "No, please, 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 please." I said, "No, no, 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 no. You see, there are certain things you have to address on the spot." So I finished this German girl and made her look so empty that I think from that point, anytime she sees a black, she will not run down a black in that way. Okay? So many of these people have problems. It's not your problem. Okay? So if you receive such kind of attitude, when you know this is not my problem, it's this person's problem, then turn the table around. Turn the table around. Let them understand that they actually have problems. Many of them are not courageous enough. That's one thing I got into them. They're not courageous enough. So you have to be strong to understand what your problem. Because if I start thinking about, oh my goodness, Africans, we are finished, we can't get job. No, you will not even have the courage to look for a new one. You will not have the right attitude to face your exams, to read and study. So I turned the table around. I said, no, this cannot keep me down, because I know what this person has done is wrong. That wrong is not my problem. That wrong is that person's. Okay? And this is not only about racism or jobs outside books. In fact, someplace I worked, as I got there, I saw the attitude, because at that time I was the only African. Other Africans that came were those I recruited, actually part of my team, but I was the only African that was at the higher part. And then I saw the attitude, because I know the attitude. I've studied this attitude. I know when I see it, but I just closed my eyes as if they were not existing. So one day my boss said he wanted us to eat together at lunch. So he took me to a restaurant, and he bought the lunch for me, and we sat there. And then he was asking me how I'm doing. Do you know this person seemed not to like you when you were being recruited here? Some people were not happy and all that. I said, yes, I know. And he was like, you know? I said, yeah, I know. And how is it affecting you? I said, no. Why not? Because that is not why I'm here. I'm not here to look at people's attitude. No, no, no. I'm here to work. I have a mission here. I came here to work. All right. And so don't worry about I'm not concerned. I see those, but it doesn't sooner or later, I told him, sooner or later, it will all change. He was astonished, and that is what actually happened. A time came when my face became irresistible. They would like to see my face. A time came when I was actually the face of that group. Yes. So we need to remain focused. That is important. You need to remain focused. Your environment can bring all kinds of things. And if you see the diagram I was showing before, where is it? Yeah, here. I was showing here. If you see here, it says the rainy days will come. The competition can be rife. The stormy days will come. But only careers built on a solid foundation can survive. You have to really understand how this works and put your strategies, because those things will come. And sometimes I ask myself, and this is one of the ways I navigate it. And I ask myself, but even in my country, these things are even worse. So why can't I endure it and find my way when it concerns somebody that is several thousands of miles or kilometers away from where I come originally? When in my own community, I can be discriminated in different ways. And I tell you the truth. Okay? When I can be discriminated in my own state, in my own country, I can be discriminated. I can be treated in a very unfair way, because maybe my name, because where I come from, maybe the language I speak. And so if I live in the midst of that, what about coming from? So we don't share anything together unless just maybe Adam. Okay. We don't share anything in common. We don't look the same. So what is it? If I'm able to deal with that one that comes from those close to me, then I will be able to deal with this one. Yeah. Anyway, is there anything more? I've taken 11 minutes of your time, so that we can. Is there any question burning or anything? Yeah. So the career foundation is important, and please do more reflection. Do more reflection of where you're coming from, where you are. And this is not only in the academic career. We are born with a purpose. You need to find your purpose, because you can easily be distracted by many things. And eventually, you don't live out your purpose. And that can affect the type of foundation you put. Maybe your decisions are based on what is happening around you, your peers, and so on. But you need to determine your own purpose and then work towards your purpose. Once you determine that, you begin to see that there are things you begin to fit in place towards you achieving your purpose. Life is not easy. And I remember after I talked with my PhD student last year about my experience, he said, wow, so bright you face these things. My goodness. How can one, if you face this, what is the hope for us? If I go through with it, nobody sat me down like I'm sitting you down to tell you what is ahead, what you need to think about. Nobody did that to me. I have to learn by trial and error. I have to learn by experience, difficult experiences. I have to go through talk. It's like somebody said, Pathfinder. I had to clear the bushes and find where the the treasures are. I had to do that myself. Nobody told me. I had to break walls. I have to break barriers. I have to go around the corners. Nobody sat me down. Nobody. And if I had such a project, and that is why I determined that I will be a show that people can rest on. So my doors are open. My doors are open because I know what I went through. It was not easy. And so when somebody says, oh, it's good, you are in Sweden, oh, wow, it's not easy. Well, I say they don't understand. No. They don't understand. People don't understand. And you can't begin to explain to them what it is like. No. Oh, it's easy there. You have everything there. Yeah. You have the resources, you have the libraries, you have the labs, you have the funding, you have all that. But you see, when it comes down to the written, then certain things matter. Your face matters. When you come from matter and things like that. But you need to break those walls. You need to break them. And anybody who is not determined. And when I was talking about, for instance, when I was talking about being in the wilderness, when I was doing my PhD, my goodness, I was buried. I was buried in certain places myself. I intentionally decided that I will not be average in this place. I will bury myself and make sure my hands and my legs acclimatize to capacity building. I was looking into the future. What will make me relevant? What will make me useful to myself first and to my career in the next 5 years, next 10 years? So I went to the wilderness and I accumulated certain things that sometimes I'm teaching them to people think that, oh, this guy was educated. No, I didn't. Many of them I didn't go to. I buried myself because I was looking into the future. The environment I find myself, I would not just think that things go like, no, things don't go like that. You have to fight it and get it. That is why foundations are very important. And you can remake it. SFI has provided a platform for us. I put a platform for every one of us. Let's make use of it. And encourage one another. We have different things. If you are not a member, register and be a member. It's for those in Nigeria that go to Chicken Republic. I don't know whether T-Pain has blocked that way for you. But many people, what you used to register for ASFI, this if you it's not enough. You want to go to Chicken Republic, one dish. Register. We have mentoring group there, very vibrant mentoring group. And very soon they'll be calling out for match mentoring. Okay. Yeah, I'm not I have several people in my group already, and if you want to come, the door is open. We can accommodate you. All right. So okay, somebody is asking about my daily hours. Well, I'm very lazy researcher, to be frank with you. But anyway, the first thing you need to do to become productive is your mindset. Your mindset. You need to see many of these things you do natural. You need to see it to be natural. You have to work on your mindset, because if you are the type of person that you are easily stressed, the day doesn't go half, you are gone. So you need to develop a mindset of gentility to be able to accommodate things. When your mind is at peace, many of the things I do, by the time I come to my computer, I have the architecture. And that is when your mind is relaxed. Have the architecture. So what I do is to put the blocks, put the windows, and arrange them. So the mindset is very important. If you do not have a peaceful mindset, you are not relaxed, then it will affect a lot of things about your productivity. It will affect your ability to multitask. That is one. The second thing is that have the culture, will I say culture or attitude, which one, of, taking notes of your plans, write them down. Phone. I write the things I need to do down, and I arrange them. I have a priority list. This one is top. This one can wait. All right? And I approach them in that way. And you will get to a point where it becomes part of you. So even before you go to bed, you have arranged the next day. And when you just wake up, you begin to implement. All right? And then please have a good sleeping routine. I sleep. I don't play with my sleep. To be frank with you, if I tell you when I go to bed now, some people say, oh, how? Yes. Some people already know my routine that they don't call me anytime from 9 p.m. They don't call me. And in fact, if you call me anytime from 9 p.m., you can't get me because my phone automatically goes on sleeping mode from around 8:45. And by that time, I'm already on bed. Okay? And when do you wake up? Well, I wake up around 5:30 in the morning, our time here. So I get my sleep, I rest well. And then the other thing I do is that I like exploring. I like nature a lot. So with my kids, we go to the forest. I like anything nature. I like it. And I tell you, if I go to nature, when I take a walk, when I do the things I do in nature, I get inspiration. So for you, you need to also find your own source of inspiration. I get so much inspiration. So I'm doing something now and it's not working. There's a block in my head. The only way to unlock it is I take now a 30 minutes walk. I just walk around. I walk around. Whether it's in the cold or in this, it doesn't matter. I just walk around. And by the time I come back, it opens up. But some people will sit, they will be there even when sleep is catching them. They want to, this thing, I will finish it. I will finish it. No, it doesn't work that way. All right? It doesn't work that way. Please try to take a break in your days, each day. Try to take a break. Take 10 minutes break. Walk around, get yourself, refresh yourself. Don't sit at a place and then you want to, before you know you're exhausted, we are all human beings. And then please collaborate. I have now on my desk many papers to read, to comment. In fact, one is due today. I don't know if I'm able to do it today. I have many papers, and that is because I collaborate. And I'm looking for many opportunities to go. I just look for many opportunities to collaborate, to share our ideas, to talk to. And before you know it, they begin to manifest in. That is how you grow in science. And that's one of the things I was saying there. The foundation of networking is very important. The fruit will start coming sooner or later. Then you just relax. So when someone, you publish a lot, this and that, they don't understand what is going on. Collaboration yields many of those. And we have opened that door in SFI this year. Whether you take it, I don't know. But we see how it goes this year. If it's something that is fruitful, we'll continue next year. I am happy that many of the papers I have submitted for publication, many of them have come from those who have joined SFI. Some of them have been forced in our courses to write papers, and they have written it, and they can now see that they can write it, and they have sent it they have submitted it for consideration. That is how you do it. Explore. You see, I was reading to you about my my PhD student. I started supervising him when he was doing his medical for his medical degree. I supervised him there. And I was telling him, we need to do this. And when he finished his medical degree, that project he did was published in, published, 3 papers came out of that project in top journals in these areas. They were published. And that gave him a lifting. So, wow, 3 papers from my medical bachelor's degree? Wow, in top journals. Yes, of course. You aspire. You have the abilities. Where do you just stop here? No, we don't do like that. And then I finished supervising him. I advertised a PhD position, and I saw his application. I said, but are you trying to push him? He said, yeah, I'm interested. And of course, I took him in. And what happened? Yeah, here he is. And if I check his profile, I think by the time he's finished his PhD, and this is, I'm just talking about how many years now? 2021 to now, maybe 4.5 years. Yes, he will be publishing maybe close to 50 papers or so. Can you imagine that? That is a powerful story to tell. So coming, I linked him up to different places, and he started collaborating here and there, and is publishing that amount. So collaboration is extremely important. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. The time where science is done by myself, just by myself, that time is gone. Throw it in those bin. Have multidisciplinary collaboration, cross-institutional collaboration, multi-sector or cross-sectoral collaboration. Let's do it, because that is the way we change our world. That is where we are. That is where we change our career, grow our career, change science, make it beautiful. That is what it is. And that is why I'm here. And as far as you are here on this ASFY, you can't stop hearing my voice. I'll be stinging this on you here. Well, you can close your ears. I don't see you anyway. But after I'll put on YouTube, one day, by mistake or by chance, you will click that link, and then you hear it. But I tell you, you can't run away from it. If you really want to go to that level, this is the way it works. Perhaps people have not told it to you before, but I tell you, it will change your story. It will change your story. All right. Sorry, I know that you want to continue to hear more because nobody is moving from here, but it's almost half an hour past when we're supposed to close. Anyway, so let me just tell you that what we have done, this second edition, we are focused on foundations. And the third edition will be looking at structures, how to now begin to put those structures. In every building, the foundation is not all. Foundation is starting. You have the walls, you have the windows, you have the doors, you have other structures that are great. So when it comes to career, and the third edition, we are going to be looking at those. Because it is important if you want to grow your career so that you don't stop only building foundation. When you build a foundation, that is, and you go and sleep. No, you can't sleep there. You need things to make the house. And then we'll go to the roof because the rains will come. And then you need a roof to cover yourself. The sun will shine. This part of the world, the snow will come. And so on and so forth. And then we have the decorations. Oh, women like decorations, isn't it? So how do we beautify it? How do we beautify our career? How do we beautify it? So we will really look into those. So the 5th edition and so on. Okay. So yeah, we'll be looking at that in the 3rd edition. 30th of May is the workshop, and 6th June will be the audit. Please, this is one of the things. This course is very cheap. It's very cheap. So part of academic supervision, if you want to get well at doing it, please, you need to learn the art. And I promise you, you will not be the same. And then making sense of data, that is where the word is. So please also register this. Okay, that is all I have for you this afternoon. And I wish you a wonderful weekend. The mics are muted, so you can unmute yourself from there if you want to say something. But yeah, thank you for coming to this session, and we'll see you again next.
Okay, Prof. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Very interesting and inspiring. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Very inspiring talk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.